It's wonderful to be here, this moment full of wonderment. So, the essence of all Tantric teaching is to take you to a place of fascinating wonderment. This is the essential teaching. Fascinating wonderment is the ideal posture that you can enter in every moment of your life. Is the ultimate posture. And so, as I'm introducing Tantra Yoga, I want to introduce you to a concept of yoga that is beyond the asana practice. Yoga is a position, a posture of your being in relation to reality. And so in one of the sacred texts that we use in our lineage, there was a passage in the Shiva Sutra, to be specific. If you want to go, you can find it, if you're going to look it up for yourself. About halfway through the book, there is a passage that says that the advanced yogi, the yogi that receive mastery in Tantrism, is the one that will be meeting every moment of his or her life with the attitude of fascinating wonderment. And so fascination is a curiosity that wants to enter, that penetrates, is a masculine aspect. It wants to know more. This is the movement of love, to enter another, to know them, to know it. You love the arts, you penetrate the arts, you enter what you're witnessing. And wonderment is a quality of the feminine, of the open heart, of the surrender. The wonderment is pure awe, where there is almost no movement but complete seduction and penetration of this moment, so that I can't have any movement, because whatever event is or person has been presented to me, send me into a space of wonderment. So wonderment, it's backward, it's inward, it's exposing. So fascinating wonderment is to be in this constant dance of entering and surrendering, entering and surrendering. And this is the movement of reality, according to the Tantric scriptures. It happened with everything we do. Even right now, my words are entering you. And if they touch you, will strike a chord of recognition, and there will be some awe, some wonderment. And then there is curiosity for more. When the wonderment is full, there is curiosity for more. And in a sense, is the erotic aspect of this teaching is the symbol of the Shiva Lingam, the phallus penetrating the yoni, the lingam inside the yoni, and the lingam grows inside the yoni. This is the fascination, but it can't grow too far unless it's got a yoni around it that supports the further growth. And so you can imagine also as building a building or a tower, the foundation needs to support further growth. And so this is the one point attention, the fascination that we use to pierce more of reality, that then needs to gather some density around, some presence, some support from the feminine, the essence of life, the earth. And then there's this picture of this yoni around that supports. And supports, more grows. And when the yoni is around, there can be a relaxation in the deepest penetration. And this is how, if you think about it, a lot of us we live life. Yeah, we go to new places, we discover, we go outward for a bit, and then we need to stop. And we need to check in with our resources. Even if you walk into the forest, you walk for a while and then you stop, you make camp, you nourish yourself. The wonderment. So, I'm speaking about all of this because all of this is yoga. And this day we really focus onto the asana practice. And I witness how the asana practice sometimes they are used to prevent ourselves to really drop into this space of vulnerability and absolute wonderment. And wonderment doesn't necessarily mean ecstatic joy. Sometimes it's happy wonderment. Sometimes it's emotional intensity. And we can still sit with the wonderment of what's happening in my body. Developing our ability to be more skilled at feeling, at tracking, feeling an emotion, and be wondrous about it. And I noticed that a lot of people use yoga to avoid the vulnerability. And so they're too stuck into the fascination. And there is this idea that also yoga is something that someone else will teach me, that I need to go out of myself into a place with someone and that will give me something. And so again is this movement of moving out or penetrating. And I see very little time spent into the wonderment. And that's Shavasana, is the last posture. So whatever yoga you do, remember that your whole practice was created to take you to the place of Shavasana at the end. And I have some yoga teacher that gets really mad at, maybe nowadays I think Shavasana is also more in vogue because yoga has been more popular. But about 10 years ago, a lot of yoga students would leave the class during Shavasana because they've done the yoga, they've done the practice. Oh, now there is the relaxation, the lying down. I don't need this. I can go now because I'm busy. I've got things to do and I'm going to win 10 minutes to do my errands. And some of my yoga teachers were locking the door of the yoga studio. You cannot leave. So the wonderment of the relaxation is a yoga posture we have underestimated for a long time. So I want to bring this forth and the practice of deeply relaxing while you're doing your asana, while you're doing the yoga, while you're living, while you're loving. Because also, in this fascinating and wonderment, when we fall in love, there is this movement of fascination. We are so taken by the other. We project ourselves into the other completely, and we forget to take time to take stock of how I'm feeling, my state of wonderment. Am I creating enough space inside of myself to hold this fascination that wants to grow out of me? Am I creating the foundation, the root for this fascination? And so you can apply this to all the most interesting movement in life. And my teacher always say, make your yoga the expression of your love. And so I want to invite you to participate with me in this short journey we're going to go on to in this month of August. For 3 consecutive Saturdays, where we can meet in love, where we start doing yoga as an act of love, not as a duty, not because we want to be stronger. There is no goal. We join in because we love, we are fascinated by the experience of being myself. And so we come together to drop into the wonderment of the self. The self desiring to become form. I call this yoga. I didn't invent it. I didn't make it up. I'm simply bringing forth a transmission of a traditional practice from the Kaula lineage of Tantrism. But I name this set because I separated from the old system, which comprise many more practice that goes along with this asana. But when we do only the asana, I call it Kama Yoga because for me it really reflects the desire, the deep desire of self to enter form, to have a body. And without a body, we can't do the yoga. This is the beauty. And so the self-desire, the unmanifested, the formlessness, desiring form, so that it can know itself through the love-making with my form. And so yoga, Kama Yoga, like the Kama Sutra, the teaching of love, become the yoking of my body desire to become disembodied, and vice versa. So become a practice of love, a practice of love. Not a struggle. Don't go and do the yoga by beating yourself up. Don't do the yoga because you need to change who you are. Because these are subtle practice of self-abuse in the name of spiritual enlightenment. They are so subtle, we miss them. And so don't use your spiritual practice as a way to abuse yourself into awakening. We do so much of this. Abuse yourself into awakening. Wake up, wake up. So let the awakening to become a process of wonderment.